Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Coffee Cast. I am Coffee Break, here bringing you the next game in the series, Game 2 between oGsMC and IMMVP. But I am not alone on this cast. I have somebody incredibly awesome with me. And who might that be?
I have absolutely no idea who you're talking about.
And in the first 10 seconds of this cast, I have already been trolled. Ladies and gentlemen, with me, I have Sleeper Cells, the Zerg
What's going on,
player.
guys? Zerg, former Protoss, gotta love it, got to love it. Looking forward to casting once again. This definitely sounds like a really, really good game. Why don't you go ahead and explain what happened in Game 1 since I missed it, unfortunately.
Well, in Game 1, we had MC do a 6-gate to bust down MVP's quick expansion. And that expansion, let me tell you, it had 4 bunkers defending it and a 5th one by the end of it. But MC had some beautiful force fields behind the bunkers, which stopped the SCVs from repairing it. And after a long, drawn-out battle, MC was finally able to push through that bunker line, push into the main base, and take out MVP.
Alright, Protoss President for the win then. Gonna go ahead and see how this game goes ahead and it goes for both these players. Of course, I am MVP from Team I am, absolutely amazing Terran player, arguably one of the best Korean Terrans in the world.
Best Korean Terrans, one of the best Terrans in the world, one of the best players in the world.
MC, of course, getting up there, staying up there, had a little bit less success lately. His Protoss play got a little bit insignificant. He fell out of Code S, but luckily due to MLG Orlando, he was able to get himself back in Code S of the GSL, and he's been playing ridiculously better recently, so this series could really go either way, especially with MC taking game number 1.
I agree. Now, one thing I am a little bit concerned with MC is the fact that a lot of the times that I see him play, he seems kind of like a one-build Protoss. For instance, his PvZ at MLG Orlando, every single game was a sentry drop into the main to force field the ramp off. And in his PvP beforehand, when he was in his glory days, was only 4-gating.
I do have to mention real quick, look at MVP's geyser in his main. How many SCVs is that mining that?
He has 5 SCVs mining that right now. You're right, that is interesting and a little bit of a misstep, especially considering he has already 3 miners down in the harvester count. Now 4 down in the harvester count.
Wow.
That is not good.
I don't know if this is some ridiculously insane, like, Korean gas mining technique, but this is not effective at all. There are 2 SCVs here. We're pretty much doing nothing. To optimally harvest at Vespain Geyser, you have to have 3, not 5 at all.
Well, actually, that tactic you were talking about, you see those rocket boosters on the back of the SCVs? They're actually propelling the SCVs inside of the geyser faster.
However, then they have to wait in line at the geyser. I mean, it doesn't work out quite as well. It's up to 7. He's got his command center hotkey to his refinery.
My goodness, that is not good for him at all. Now, he does have a reactor down on this barracks, so he is going for more marine play. My goodness, he has not scouted this yet. This is going to spell disaster for him if he doesn't correct this shortly.
That's 9 harvesters on this Vespain Geyser. This is definitely going to be the end of... This is such a huge mistake, not what I'd expect from MVP. It's like he went AFK, went and grabbed a drink, and all of a sudden he comes back and he's got 10 harvesters on his refinery. I do have to mention, of course, MC sitting back with getting his expansion up, has a normal amount of probes in his assimilator, getting up a couple extra gateways, while MVP is just trying to go for, looks like a Marauder time push, and there he does, finally sees it. He's got to be pretty red in the face right now.
Indeed. Now, he is getting this concussive shell out, and concussive shell obviously so effective versus Protoss. Those slower units, there's less of them. So pretty much concussive shell is just devastating to Protoss units until you can get blink or charge up or a lot of sentries for force fields. So I really like this. Do you think we'll be seeing Stim after this?
Oh, almost absolutely. I mean, Stim is, of course, the best upgrade for Terran in general. It turns this level 1, tier 1 bio army into an extremely powerful just Terran standard bio force. And there's the Stim once again coming up like you did say. But I have to look at this and look at the supply differential. It is in the favor of MVP, but I feel like had he not had that misstep early on, this could be a significantly larger army here.
Indeed. Now, it looks like he is looking to push in a little bit, but a lot of Stalkers here already. Now, these Stalkers definitely are a good soft counter to the Marine, and it looks like they're going to get some free shots off while MVP just retreats, and a lot of kills going down, but these now turning around. The Marauders doing a lot of damage to those Stalkers. One Stalker almost dead. Now 3 Stalkers have died, and it looks like they are focus firing down the Marauders. No, and he does take out that second Marauder now.
Yes.
And it looks like MVP is looking to push in a little bit more now. Now it looks like all these Stalkers are indeed going to fall. Just a single Marauder, a single Marine left, and 4 Stalkers now. Now, that was a decent hold by MC, but I feel he could have done a lot better.
Yeah, I'm just barely holding off there. What time are you at, sir?
I am currently at 7:47. 7:45.
Right, close enough. We do see, of course, these Marines and these Stalkers just sort of walking past each other. There go the Stalkers. Going to go ahead and attack these 2 Marines. Going to go ahead and take this out. No problem at all. Going to try and take down the one Stalker that was in the yellow there, but not going to be enough. I feel like that push is it was so incredibly close. Imagine if he'd had 5 or 6 more Marines and another Marauder in that army.
Indeed.
That would have been devastating for MC.
Indeed. Now, we do have a Warp Prism coming out for oGsMC. Now, this makes me all giddy inside. I love Warp Prism play. I'm going to be honest.
Oh, I love it as well. Of course, White Wrath Special Tactics fighting. Very, very huge proponent of the Warp Prism. We do have an observer. Gonna go ahead and scout and see everything that's going on in MVP's base. No command center even started yet. This is looking worse and worse for MVP as the time goes on. That being said, though, this Warp Prism is quite a quick commitment, and if it doesn't do any damage, that's going to be 200 minerals down the drain.
Indeed. But I think MVP is kind of on a back foot right now. I think he's a little bit off. I think that he's just feeling uncomfortable, all things total. And it looks like he might even be committing to a 1 base play, but only 2 racks up right now, even. So I don't even feel I can necessarily say that fully. I don't know what exactly MVP's follow-up is right now, but my only guess is just a Stim timing push here. Just going to wait for Stim to finish and see if he can do some damage.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Stim, like I've said before, is going to just make this army a lot better. And we do see medevacs have hit the field, so they are going to be able to lift some of this army up, maybe do a little bit elevator play, and I think that's exactly what he has planned here. There goes 4 Marauders being dropped up on the high ground. Going to go ahead and focus down this pylon, and the army of oGsMC is completely out of position. 1 Mortal going to go ahead and get there a little bit ahead of the party. Couple Stalkers showing up. Going to go ahead and take out 1 Marauder, and that medevac is going to go ahead and get away, and the entire force took out. Actually didn't get that pylon, but was able to sort of force the Protoss player out of position.
Indeed, and now we do have a Warpin from this Warp Prism up into MC's base. Only 1 Zealot, now 2 more being morphed in, and it looks like they're looking to do a little bit of harassment, but 1 Marauder with Concussion Shell able to slow that down, giving MC the time he needs to react. Now a double medevac drop into MC's base, and it looks like he's looking to do a little bit of damage. Now picks those up and moves out as soon as those force fields are laid down. Very nice control by IMMVP, but these Zealots doing so much damage in MVP's mineral line, so many of them at a huge advantage, 41 to 22 Harvesters.
Huge advantage, of course. If you do look at the supply as well, it is 92 out of 92 for MC versus only the 65 out of 83 for MVP. And there go the SCVs. He is going to go ahead and go all in at this point in time. He is so far behind that he does not have much of a choice here. So he's just going to go ahead and fight as much as he can. There goes the army going to go ahead and be dropped out of these medevacs. A couple of Marines there getting caught. Cannot afford to let that happen with his entirely all in here. MVP, I do not believe he can do anything at this point. He's trying desperately, but the army of MC is just so superior, and all these stims being wasted. There are a few medevacs, but not quite enough. Here he goes, going to go ahead and force MC back, but MC going to go ahead and decide that now is his time to fight. There he goes, turning around. Force field's going down, not quite doing as much as he would like. Zealot stuck in the back, but there's going to be more than enough of this Protoss army to win the game, and there's the WWG from MVP. That means MC is going to go ahead and take this game, and I believe take this series.
Apparently it wasn't a best of 3, or I just grabbed a 3rd game, because guess what? There's a 3rd game on the way for you guys between oGsMC and IMMVP, so I don't know if it was a best of 5 series. The site that I downloaded these from did have 2 games grouped and then 1 more game randomly in another spot. But Sleeper, I don't know about you, but I don't mind casting a third game at all.
Yeah, certainly not. I would not mind doing that in the slightest.
Especially against 2 players of this caliber. In this game, I think that we can both agree that the biggest misstep was MVP rallying 10 SCVs onto that refinery.
You see, the thing is, MVP that didn't look like his play. He's so incredibly good at this game in general. That's just such, I hate to say it, but that's such a newbie mistake. It's really silly that was actually what ended up taking him down. And unfortunately, like you said, that's pretty much the biggest factor there.
Indeed. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will be back with Game 3 and with Sleeper Cells for Game 3 between OGS's MC and QM IMVP. So please do not go away, stick around, and we will be back in just a couple of minutes.